Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk to Scott from Florida, who's got a take on this. Scott, how you doing, my friend, down there in the Sunshine State?
Hey, Anthony, I'm doing a great, fantastic show. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Appreciate it.
You know, you said earlier those people protested, you said they're nuts, and they are nuts. And you know how I know they're nuts? They believe the politicians, the liberal politicians, actually care about them.
Oh.
Because they're a cult. They're insane.
It is. That is the craziest thing anyone can believe. And by the way, this is for every politician, regardless of party. If you think a politician cares about you, you're a mental patient. Honestly, when they talk about that, and we care about our people and Americans, and they do not care about anything but power and money. The best we could do is rein them in enough that they could still do their job without completely robbing us and destroying our country. So I agree with you there.
I mean, I'm 55, and there's a lot of political things that I'm concerned about and I care about.
Yeah.
But there's not one conservative politician I've ever voted for would make me get up and go to some rally somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Because
unless it was kind of fun, maybe. Like the Trump rallies weren't because people were like, oh, I agree with his policies. I think they were like, I just want to go to this because it seems like a fun party. I get that part of it. But no one's going to a politician's event because you agree with how much they care about you.
Right. Or that I'm under some delusional belief that they do care about me. Oof. The only thing they care about me is that I vote for them, and then they don't care at all.
Scott, could you imagine, like, not having a family that cares about you, friends, even coworkers at some point, that you've whittled it down so far that you have to believe a politician cares about you? It could be the saddest thing. Pull a Eugene and find a beam in your basement and take care of business.
Brooks was here, definitely, because
that's
all you have left.
It's disgusting. Scott, I definitely appreciate the call, and I agree with your sentiment, ma sir.
Thanks, Ant. Have a great show.
Later, man. Oh, my God. This is DT from my newest home state of South Carolina. DT, what's up, my friend?
WABC. Hey, Anthony.
Thank you,
a couple weeks ago, you were talking about the celebrities who mouth off politically. They do themselves no favors when they do that. It divides their fan potential and ultimately their revenue stream. And it seems mandatory nowadays. I'm baffled by this. They're compelled to leverage their celebrity status to try to affect social change. But when has that ever worked?
Yeah, I don't think it does. Even dopey program directors, when I first got into radio back in the 1800s, when I first started doing radio, the PDs would say, don't alienate any of your audience. Don't have an opinion. Don't talk about politics. Don't even say you don't like a movie, because you're going to alienate half your audience. And while, I couldn't really do that, I think in radio, especially if you're really passionate about your opinions, it comes through, and you'll get half the audience that hates you will listen regardless. But celebrities like movie stars and they ruined careers, their own careers and legacy by speaking up and putting their nonsense out there.
See, you can do that because you're a political pundit, a shock jock.
Shocking, right?
Have you ever gone to a concert and between the songs, the singer's got to start mouthing off, "Hey, we don't like our president, and you guys shouldn't like him either."
So
and,
brave.
Half the audience is rah rah rah. The other half is like, "Don't be any better. Get to the next song." When is anyone ever taking a 180 politically because of what some dirtball singer says on stage?
And they don't even realize how hypocritical they are. When you get Rage Against the Machine praising the machine, they're the ones up there saying, the machine is awesome. you come off a little hypocritical.
It's completely counterintuitive. If a person considers themselves an artist, shouldn't their primary motivation be to express their craft to the largest audience possible, not just for the revenue stream, but for the purpose of art, which is supposed to be for enlightenment, entertainment,
DT,
and
my
bringing
friend,
people together.
It's called narcissism. It's called narcissism. Yeah.
Or insanity. Or insanity.
Yeah, or insanity. I think it's both of the two. GT, thank you, my friend. Let's go to, here's one. Harriet, the lovely Harriet from Brooklyn. Harriet, what's up?
I love you. Listen,
Harriet loves me.
Yeah. You know that Johnny Oblinsky wrote a review of a George Clooney's play. It recently opened, and he was portraying Edward R. Murrow.
Edward R. Murrow, right. Yes.
Yeah, yes. So he's no Edward R. Murrow, and his wife wants to put Trump and Netanyahu in jail. She wrote up the papers of the International Criminal Court. So my message to George Clooney is this: if I can borrow from Kyle and Cartman of South Park.
Oh, please,
George, you are an a-hole.
His wife did this? His wife came up with this?
Yes, they drew up. Yes, she drew up the papers of the International Criminal Court. It's not recognized in America.
Harriet,
it's not recognized in Britain.
Did you see recently George Clooney got mad because MSNBC had come out and said something about the fact that George wasn't sincere about wanting Biden to step down, that Obama had told him, George, go out there and say that Biden needs to step down. And when Mika over at MSNBC had said that on the air, George lost his mind and called the producers over there and said, Obama never told me what to do. I thought Joe Biden shouldn't be. Meanwhile, Obama told them all what to do. George Clooney, his dumb wife, all of his dumb friends that we might love from, whatever movies in Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 83. They're all pieces of garbage, liberal Hollywood trash, Harriet.
Dreck. They're Hollywood dreck.
Only a woman named Harriet would use a word like dreck. I'm not even going to ask how old you are, but I love you too, Harriet. Thank you for the phone call, Miss Harriet. I love this AM station because I'm certainly not getting girls we would want to put in a 55-gallon drum and drop fish guts on like we did on the old O&A show. This is Sean from the Isle of Long Island, New York, my home base. What's up, Sean?
Anthony, I am a humongous fan. And
Don Corleone, I hope the first child is a masculine child. Thank you.
Well,
Sean, yes, go ahead.
Well, Ann, I can tell you, you are looking more and more like Pat Cooper. Anthony, give it 5 years.
Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? Remember that? He would yell
What did I do? Why did they don't talk to me no more?
I know, Pat Cooper. Look, I'm Italian. I'm getting up there. I needed readers. I decided to get 2 telescope lenses and pop them on my face. Problem, Sean?
No problem at all, kid. Listen, Joe Biden had a 25% tariff on Hunter, right? Then Hunter hit Joe with a retaliatory 25% tariff. Now, if you look at these things, you're a smart guy because you don't get funny and clever without being intelligent. I know that it's a cold fact of life. And people are jealous of people who are funny, and they replace it with sarcasm, and they come off as what. I don't want to say it on the air. But the thing is, I just want to ask you something, Anthony, because you are a funny dude. Okay. Let me ask you something. In the part of American history, in the latter part of the 20th century and the 21st century, do you believe that Pat Buchanan and Steve from Manhattan are 2 of the biggest names to set the story straight on the invasion of America.
Is this Steve?
No, people say that. It's not Steve. No.
Steve.
That's not.
How you doing, Steve? You okay?
Hey, it's not Steve from Manhattan. And I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that, man. I compliment you. Listen.
I know. Look, I know, and I appreciate that. I like the compliments. I like Long Island. I don't quite get the question, though. What do you want me to say?
Well, the thing is, like, what I'm saying now is people are screaming about the invasion because it's in their backyard. But when it was in the backyard of everybody in California, they said nothing. California's gone forever.
NIMBY, not in my backyard. I get you. Yeah, now it's come up. It's all over the country. It's not just border states that were being invaded, and it's everything. And, yeah, well, we got to do something about it. I see Trump doing something. At least ICE is out there arresting people. Look, it's not Trump's fault or the administration or ICE or anyone's fault that they can't deport people fast enough. Blame the people that left the border open for decades before Trump even got there. That's what I say, right. Sean. Thank you, my friend. We'll do it next time. But somebody actually did email something, and they wanted to ask me something. So the first week ever, Ask Anthony anything.
It's Ask Anthony Anything.
Ask Anthony.
Ask Anthony.
Ask
anything.
Anthony anything.
Ask Anthony anything.
Anything. Yeah, you could do that. This one, right. Dear Casey, I'd like to ask you a question. Hey, Anthony. I noticed in recent years how you become more calm and composed during your shows. Really? All right. You don't yell and scream like you used to in the old O&A days on the radio. Is this because you had heart surgery? Has the surgery affected your speech in some way? Or are you just not the same angry young man anymore? Love the show. Listen all the way from Germany. Thanks. No name. Well, Adolf. I'll answer you because Ask Anthony anything. No. Any medical stuff I've been through during my life has never had a bearing on how I feel or react or talk about any topic. The O&A show was from when I was 35 till I guess, wow, what was I in 50, 40, 53? I guess I was 53 years old. So 35, 45, 50, maybe 55, about 20 years, let's say. And 35 to 55 is a pretty different attitude in one's life. 35 is your 20s. I don't care what anyone says. You cross that threshold from 29 to 30 and you lose your mind. You go, that's it. I'm done. No more fun. I'm out of my 20s. I'm now a 30-something douche. Not true. You will continue your 20s right into your 30s. Swear. And the only thing that really pulls the reins back on that spirit of you in your 20s is your age. But it's not 30s. And you could even coast into your 40s. You'll start doing things different, making maybe some wiser decisions about your life than you did in your 20s. But you're still up for a good party and hanging out with your friends and drinking and, maybe doing some other things you shouldn't be doing. So, you just, it's kind of how it goes between your 20s and even your 40s. 50. Let me tell you a little bit about 50. 50 is a wall that you think you're going to hit. So you're ready for it and prepared for it. But you don't hit it. You go into 50 from your 40s pretty much feeling like you did in your 20s. I kid you not. Oh, I understand. You may have gotten a touch of the gout. You might limp a little. You wake up and go, oh, try to put your underwear on. That leg don't come up high enough as easy as it used to put it in that friggin' hole, does it? But you're still the same mindset. You're still, if you were an angry young man, you're an angry middle-aged man. I get it. And then you go through your 50s constantly looking for the wall. Where is it? Where's the damn wall? Let me tell you where the wall is. Your birthday at 60. That, my friends, is where a lot changes. Maybe not even so much mentally, but the physical part of it is so drastic that it affects the mental part of it. You're still 20 in your head. You're still a piece of crap. But you're just, you don't have the potential of being such a jerk, such an ass in your 60s. Being loud, you're like, why? Why bother? You hearken back to all your years of experience at that point. You go, I could yell, but yeah. And then some of the other O&A things we did was shock jockery. We were shock jocks. So it's very difficult to continue being that because you just feel creepy. It's just not a thing to do. And I'm not saying that wall in your 60s means that it's over. It's close. But there's just certain things that happen in your mind and body that you're just kind of like, what am I bothering? You get grandfathered in. You don't have to yell because you're allowed to say anything at this point. People just go, look at him. Let him say what he wants. So while I haven't, as you put it, calmed down, it's just, I guess, the natural occurrence of putting a few years under your belt and realizing, what the hell am I yelling about? And I still kind of yell on this show. I think I have. You might have heard it. But thank you. From Germany, you didn't leave a name. This is Alice from Ohio. Let's take a phone call. Alice, how you doing, Alice?
Very well, very well. I like your spirit, and your assessment of the ages is good.
Thank you, Alice.
But sometimes we put up our own walls, you know?
Yeah, man. I know. You're right.
I like your spirit, and just keep it up. You're a great addition.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and you deserve it. Do you know, I have a bone to pick with we don't have statesmen anymore, with the likes of Crockett and what's her name, Presley in Pennsylvania.
Presley. Oh God, they're embarrassing. Yes,
AOC. They're disgusting. You know what? Well, for one thing, when Jasmine Crockett said she was hired for DEI, how nice. She doesn't have a brain, but she filled in a place, a quota. She
checked the right box, right?
But let me tell you something. I am a descendant of a man who died the 2nd of July of 1863, fighting the Battle of Gettysburg. He was in the Pennsylvania 6th Cavalry. It was a volunteer regiment, and he's buried in that cemetery where Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address. And my ancestor fought so that she could have such a big mouth and insult everyone in this country. And she, you know what, it gets to you, you know.
It's a shame. It's a shame that so many noble soldiers fought and died for an idea, for America, and something they didn't even know what it would be, the future of America, and they assumed I am fighting and perhaps putting my life on the line for a better nation than I am standing in right now. And it's so heartbreaking to think that, oh my God, did they fight for a future nation that is so much worse than the one they were fighting for? That's troubling. That's very sad.
It is, and he was a volunteer. He was, it was his idea. I have visited his grave, and then something else. I'm hopping around. You mentioned Social Security. It was LBJ who dipped into the Social Security.
Oh yeah,
for
back
his
then,
pet project. Yes,
that LBJ. When he's not dipping into Social Security, he's blowing the head off of one of our presidents. That son of a bitch.
Yes. And how about the location where he held press conferences? Did you know about that?
In the toilet. He would sit on the toilet, actually defecating into his toilet and tell his people to bring the media in, and that's where they would ask him questions. What a piece of garbage.
He was disgusting, absolutely disgusting. So this is what the Democrats have to, aren't they proud? And we have someone who really wants to make something of this world, and he doesn't need the money. He's giving it back. It's because he loves this country.
And they're killing him for it. They're killing him for it, Alice. Him and Elon, and they can't say enough bad stuff that is literally threatening these two men's lives. For what? You want these politicians that have been crooked for forever to steal more of your money?
And also, these protesters, this is how they make a living. They should be ashamed of themselves. And then another thing, too, the people who call President Trump absolutely, no, it's totally uninformed.
Alice, I appreciate your call. I appreciate your compliments, and thank you for your support. Alice from Ohio.
We need more of you. We need more of you.
More of me. I'll clone myself. Thank you, Alice. You're quite a dear. Look at me. I'm a talk show host taking calls from Alice from Ohio. Rose from the Sunshine State of Florida. What's up?
Oh, God, I hate to say that. Hi, Anthony, but boy, do I love you.
Thank
I love you.
Oh,
can I tell you something?
Adored.
I need to tell you something. I would marry you, but I'm sorry, I am married. I am married.
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll both get lucky and your husband will drop dead.
Anthony, I don't know how old you are, but I need to tell you something.
Right.
I worked in Washington. I have a lot to tell you. I'm going to be calling.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But now I'm in Florida. I get older. But you know what? I shouldn't say.
No, that's okay. Pissed off. That's all right. We're crazy.
I love your words. You are so real. You are so real.
Oh,
but
we try.
You know something?
Thank you, Rose.
No, you are the best.
Of course.
The best of radio.
It's crazy,
That's what I wanted to be. And I'm trying to do it down here. Not radio, but I've got a lot of things what I want to do down here in Florida.
A lot of irons in the fire, they call it. You got a lot of irons in the fire, Rose?
Here's my background. I worked for a big, large real estate company.
Yeah.
And in New York, and it was Corcoran, but I just want to go over that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No,
but
that's fine. That's fine. We'll bleep it out.
Yeah, thank you. But you know something? I know business, and you are so on freaking target. It's unbelievable. And I'm sitting here saying
I've learned
tonight,
something over the years, Rose. I've learned a few things over the years, so it's just experience. You know that, Rose. You sound extremely experienced.
Thank you. But I need to tell you something. I'm going to call in every time. I want you to be successful. And you should
be one of my regular callers.
No, you need to be successful. Can I tell you why? Because you have common sense. And you know what I taught at NYU?
My dad said
common sense. Here's what I taught at NYU. Aside from my job, I went at night and I had to teach at NYU. Common sense is genius and blue jeans. And guess what, Anthony? You got it.
I got
You
it.
got it.
Thank you. Hey, did you ever have a student named Stuttering John Melendez at NYU? He says he graduated
Jesus
from
God.
there, but we all think
no,
he's
no,
lying.
you're not telling me this. You're not telling me this. Okay.
Well, Rose,
Okay, yes.
Anything else? Because I'm going to get on to some other calls. You
No,
know,
but
I
can I tell you
appreciate you,
Thank
but
you.
we're doing
Can
a
I say
show
something?
here.
Anything-
Please do. Go ahead,
You did
Rose.
ask me
Please,
anything.
please.
I love
Go
you
ahead,
so
Rose.
much.
Go ahead,
Yes.
Rose.
But you did say I had a very big, beautiful 60th birthday. But now
Oh.
I'm going to become 75. Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Wait a minute. I decided to move down to Florida, but I'm doing theater. I'm
You're
doing a
doing
lot of politics, and I'm doing
theater?
theater. But I
Theater.
Who?
Theater? You're doing theater?
And politics. And politics. But I have a lot, so much to share with you during our times on air.
I love
I
it.
am
Well,
so proud of you.
thank
and I love you,
Rose.
And
I love you too.
I
and
am
yes,
so excited.
I am so excited. I just can't hide it. Anyway, Rose,
Well,
thank you for
We got to
calling.
get down to the nitty gritty.
Yes,
Call
the
you next
gritty, the
time.
nitty, all of it. I hear you, Rose. Thank you so much for calling,
Can
and I
tell you
appreciate
something?
your
Your
oh, right?
audience. Your audience
Yeah.
needs to know that you are real.
I am so real, it's crazy. You're right, Rose. Thank you, though. But I gotta go. We will talk soon. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate Rose. Isn't that great? How did I get here? I was a shock jock. I was a shock jock. I was on the Opie and Anthony show. I used to put girls in 55-gallon drums. Now look at me. No, I appreciate that. I really do. Here's we're getting so many women callers. Susan. Hi, Susan. You're from upstate New York. How are you?
Well, I'm hanging in there, all things considered. Yeah, but I listened at the beginning of your show on and off all night, and you started talking about, trying to discuss matters of, what the country is going through to stop being a de facto bankrupt country, and that many people are basically very irrational. You played some clips of people, they're I've had to deal with some irrational people in my close circle, and that their therapists told me that their beliefs were not founded in reality.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So when you have an irrational person that you know to be, then you have to understand that you cannot reason with them.
Right. They're irrational.
And you may have to,
Yes,
help them get into a place where they won't hurt others or hurt themselves.
Susan? Susan?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Can I be honest?
I will.
Have you been drinking tonight?
No.
You're not a drop. Maybe
No.
brunch? Did you have a mimosa for brunch? Sunday. You're allowed.
No.
No shame.
I wish, but no, I've been pretty busy all day.
All right. It sounded a little, maybe you're nervous. It just sounded a little like you'd been drinking.
No, maybe a little emotional.
Oh, a little emotional. Was that vodka?
No, just everything that's going on.
I know, Susan. Look, people are irrational, and you see it on social media when you see these protesters, and you can't argue with them. You can't discuss it with them. You got neighbors like that up there in upstate New York that don't, or are they pretty like-minded?
Not so much, because I'm in a very conservative 74% voted for Trump in my county now that I moved away from New York City. But
you.
Just in general, I know that there's like such a division in the people that are, fighting just against Musk, trying to, keep us from going completely off the cliff where we wouldn't be able to have all these things being paid for.
Susan?
Yes, darling.
Spritzer? Maybe a wine spritzer? Noon? was nice out today, right?
I know. I
No?
never drink a spritzer.
Nothing like that. Not a spritzer, not a espresso with a little buca.
No, I'm a little
Dinner?
wound up right now
All right,
for a
all
different
right.
reason.
Just me. Okay, must be me.
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm dandy. I'm doing a radio show. It's crazy, right?
No, you really are. You're fun to listen to,
Thank
especially
you,
on
Susan.
Sunday night.
I know. Not much fun going on Sunday, but I appreciate it. I agree with you wholeheartedly. A lot of irrational people, and I appreciate your call, Susan. I got to move on, but thank you. Thank you, upstate New York. Have a shot from me. There goes Susan, who I absolutely think was drinking, but she did a good job. If I was a cop, I'd be like, all right,